In Atlantis, there is a hall called the Temple of the Fishes. It's a room decorated with fish engravings on the wall and filled with piranhas. Crispy Bacon is about to go down and try photographing the paintings, the engravings on the wall. However, something weird is happening because the paintings he's trying to photograph and that he's trying to get closer to, therefore, are paintings of fish, which is what he's trying to get away from, to protect himself from. The piranhas attack him whenever he tries to take photographs of the engraved fish. So he's trying to get closer to the virtual fish, but the real fish keep attacking him. He wants the virtual fish, but not the real fish. However, the walls are also decorated in what seem to be scales, a scale motif, mimicking the scaly body of a fish. So the temple itself, entirely, is like the body of a fish. Its walls are its scales. If so, maybe when Chris goes down there, he is entering the belly of the fish, being devoured by the fish, the temple. This is exactly what the piranhas are trying to do, and what he's trying to avoid. So he's entering the temple, willing being devoured, that is to say, being digested by the virtual belly of the fish, the temple walls, but not willingly devoured by the piranhas. In fact, he wants Banjo and Kazooie to protect him from the piranhas. Banjo-Kazooie serve as a weapon for him. He tried buying a weapon, but he couldn't, because he spent all his weapon money on a camera. So his weapon is his camera. He bought his camera with money which he could have used for a weapon. This is a loose read, but I assume what he could be doing down there then is attacking the fish, the virtual fish, the paintings. His camera is the weapon with which he kills the paintings. But his non-virtual weapon, the weapon for killing the piranhas, is Banjo-Kazooie, a weapon not purchased with money. The camera, therefore, is a console. Once he photographs the fish will be inside his console, inside his game, as images, as beautiful art. Let's remember this is a game about collecting puzzle pieces to form complete beautiful images, which then let you travel to other places. Banjo and Kazooie here serve as the weapon, a weapon not bought with money. Chris is trapped in a cage to protect him from the fish. This happens in the game a lot. Characters are trapped in cages, Canary Mary, Mary Maggie trapped in a fish, Dilberta in prison, Goby. There's a strong persistence of characters being trapped in cages, in my view. Banjo-Kazooie then liberate them from these cages. In any case, I think this theme always fits Gruntilda's predicament. She always feels trapped in her body in every game, whether she's a flesh and bones person or a skeleton or a robot. Her main mission seems to be to acquire a more real version of her body, and thus to escape this body and get into a better one. She seems to embody the Pinocchio story, wanting to be a real person. In the first game, we get the most direct version of this, since her desire is to be the kind of person that the world around her would deem to be cute. She wants to use a machine to get her out of her body and into the new one. So anyway, I think this is the prototype of her predicament and gets replicated in the other games. What this says to me is that in these games, being trapped in a cage is a symbol for what Grunty is going through. It's a very recurring type of puzzle for the game because it echoes what the game is thematically about, which is about escaping one's body to become a better version of the body. Even witchcraft in this game is always put to this use, to transforming oneself into a version of oneself that is better suited to solve whatever situation you're in at the moment. It seems at first glance to be a problem that could have both a positive and a negative side. You could want a better self out of a lack of self-love as a sort of escapism, and you could also want a better self as a symbol for maturing as a person, growth, shedding old habits that don't serve you anymore, etc. After all, both the villainous activities and the heroic activities in this game all involve this process. Grunty causes harm to the world and its inhabitants in order to become a better person. Banjo and Kazooie help defeat these evil activities precisely by learning new abilities, transforming into new people, etc. Their quest to defeat Grunty is performed through exactly the type of self-improvement which she is craving. I also want to be careful because I don't mean to imply that Grunty is bad here or that she is to blame for her situation. There is a complicated relationship between her evil activities and Banjo and Kazooie's heroic nature too. In any case, what this issue about the body as a cage says to me is that Crispy Bacon might also be enacting these symbolisms. He's in a cage. Let's play with the idea that it represents his body or his self. He's descending into a pit filled with creatures that would devour your body. He's also inside a temple that replicates the body of a fish, so he's already inside a body, already being digested. This is, in a way, similar to Banjo-Kazooie themselves, who are always, in a sense, inside Grunty. In Banjo-Kazooie, they're inside her body, her temple, but in Banjo-Tooie, they're in the Isle of Hags, which is also shaped like her, so they're inside her. So in any case, this theme of being eaten or digested is common to the whole game. They're always being eaten. So Chris is being eaten too. By descending down there, he's already symbolically reenacting the process of entering the belly of the fish. What would happen if you were eaten? That your body would die, be digested, and thus whatever it is that you are as a self would go through some process of transformation.